Leah was acting strange. She was drinking this unquenchable thirst.
One of the coaches called me, Coach Kelly, and she said, I'm concerned. Kaya's really using the restroom a lot. She's drinking a lot.
Over a period of several weeks towards the end of his kindergarten year of school, we just started noticing some things that were a little abnormal. Constantly thirsty, having to go to the restroom a lot, seemed to be losing a little bit of weight. And so just out of concern, we took him into the pediatrician.
They said, we'll be right back. And they left the room, and it took them a long time. So me and Kaya were in the room, and we're like, it's taking so long. Like, what is going on? And so I kind of peeked out, of the room to see what was going on. And I could just see like nurses and doctors kind of frantically running. And I was like, oh God, something is wrong. They came back into the room and they told us that her numbers were over 500 and that we needed to immediately get her over to TMH.
So we took her to the emergency room at TMH, and the ER doctor was very thorough, and he tested everything, including her blood sugar. And she was well over 500, and he knew at that moment that she was a type 1 diabetic, and so the news was very strange. It was just not even, I never thought it was possible for a baby to develop type 1 diabetes.
He seemed healthy. The nurses seemed very, very kind to us, and then enrolled Dr. Deeb the next morning.
As the sun came up, in walks Dr. Deeb, and he says, you're gonna be okay. We're gonna do this together.
They started doing tests and everything, and shortly after, Dr. Deeb appeared on the scene. Yeah, so that was the beginning of our journey.
When you leave the hospital, Dr. Deeb gives you this piece of paper with his phone number on it, and you think it's to his office, and it's to his cell phone.
He gave us his cell number. He was like, call me anytime, call me. Because we're new at this, we don't know. And we're just taking her out of the hospital. We was like, we don't really want to take her out of the hospital because we have nurses. But, he was like, it's going to be okay. Here's my number. Call me if there's a problem, And he answers. It made me feel a lot better. It eased that stress and tension because I had someone to call.
I can't tell you how comforting it is whenever the phone rings for that return call and it's Dr. Deeb and he says, this is Dr. Deeb. That's how he, greets you, and immediately you're kind of like, okay, this is much better. And so it's just I can't describe that feeling of kind of relief, of just knowing that he's on the the other end of the line, because it can be the kind of just everything seems out of control, and once you hear his voice, you're like, okay, we got this.
We selfishly think he's ours. We're his first call back. He answers the phone. I'm like, but everyone here thinks he's theirs, and that's a pretty cool feeling.
Leah was 10 months old at diagnosis, and these insulin pumps have a recommended beginning age of 2. She's 10 months old, and he said, she has to be on this pump. It is not safe for her not to be on the pump. And so he fought with the insurance company and won to get it covered and get this girl on an insulin pump under the age of 1, which is not common. Dr. Deeb is going to be an advocate for you and your child. He knows what's best. He will help fight with an insurance company to get your child the best care and the best devices for them. You're in good hands with Dr. Deeb.
We live in this medium-sized town, and we have this doctor that is known, so well around the nation, and as this expert, and how lucky we were that he was a phone call away. And I remember telling a friend what a sacrifice his family has made, because we all are taking up, vacation time or evenings. He's his own on-call nurse. If you call his office after hours, a nurse doesn't call back, he calls back. It could be midnight. Just the complete abundance of his care, and his life and his family's life has revolved around hundreds, if not thousands, of children in Tallahassee for decades. And I thank him, but I also thank his wife and children, because that has to be a huge, sacrifice of their life as well. But we're thankful.
Thank you for being there every step of this journey.
Yes.
It was a rough beginning.
Yes.
Thanks for the jokes. They really took the tension away from some of them.
Thanks for the encouragement, for encouraging us that we can do it. We're not the first, we're not going to be the last, and we can do it. We may make mistakes, we'll dust it off, we'll learn from our mistakes, and we'll keep moving.
Dr. Deeb, if you can hear me, we really appreciate all of the work that you've done for us, the attention and care you've given us. I think of you as almost like a father figure to me, caring for my girls. And just, I know that you always have their best interests at heart, and you want the best for them, and you've hopefully enjoyed watching them grow up over these last 7 years. And they're very healthy, happy girls, partly because of you.
Thank you, Dr. Deeb.